Hey everybody, it's Glenn. I am back in this video with my first ever TNA knockout. It's Velvet Sky. And not only am I back with Velvet Sky, I also have my second TNA knockout. It's Angelina Love. Had Velvet Sky for quite a few weeks now. Picked her up at the Entertainer toy shop. £9.99. And recently got Angelina Love on Amazon for £10 plus shipping. Been waiting to get Angelina before I show these two ladies off. Unfortunately, they're not partnered anymore, but they probably will be best remembered, at least in my mind, as Team The Beautiful People in TNA Wrestling. If you have no idea what TNA Wrestling is, it stands for Total Non-Stop Action Wrestling, and it's the best thing that the WWE has to competition right now. Of course, it's WWE's largest competitor by default, really, because WWE has pretty much purchased every wrestling company that competed against it now. So calling TNA its competitor gives TNA a bit too much credit, as they're hardly WCW, they're not even ECW. TNA are certainly plugging away, trying to boost ratings any way they know how, which at the moment largely consists of plastering an aged Hulk Hogan all over their TV show. So TNA knockouts are the equivalent to WWE divas. If wrestling was high school, WWE divas would be the kind of bitchy girls who wanted to be prom queens, whereas TNA knockouts would be the kind of girls who skip out on school altogether to go stealing stuff at the mall. WWE divas are the kind of girls you would take home to mum and buy a bunch of flowers, whereas TNA knockouts are the kind of girls you take to a seedy hotel and buy a season pass to an STD clinic. So Velvet here is from the third series of TNA Deluxe Impact. Angelina Love is from series 5. Interesting to me, these two figures straddle the decision to go from the hexagonal ring to a four-cornered ring in TNA. As seen in the packaging here, this kind of bird's eye view of the ring. This is the hexagonal ring compared to Angelina's card, which is four-cornered, kind of regular wrestling ring as they use also in WWE. Personally, I think this hexagonal ring makes for a more better looking package, with the plastic bubble mimicking the hexagonal shape as well, as opposed to this package where it's kind of the bubble is a bit uglier and the shape of it complements the figure less. But that's kind of me being a bit pedantic about things, I guess. But both figures are by Jakks Pacific, who formerly made WWE wrestling figures before losing the contract to Mattel. So now Jakks produce TNA wrestling figures and also UFC, the mixed martial arts fighting action figures, I guess in a vein to still cling to its position in the marketplace. Similar to Jakks WWE Ruthless Aggression figures, the packaging is very similar, with the kind of monotone pictures of the wrestling characters, and the cards kind of very much complement the figure as opposed to kind of overpower it. So let's open these bad bitches up and check them out. So here they are out of package, and I have to say I am pretty impressed with these two figures. Like I said, Jakks formerly did produce WWE action figures. When they were making WWE divas, they never made them with this much articulation. As we can see here, using Angelina, she features a whole heap of articulation. From the head, which is pretty much side to side. There is some up and down but I think the up and down is more the kind of give on the ball joint as opposed to an up and down articulation. She does feature ball jointed shoulders, a single jointed elbow, her hands move 360 degrees and up and down. She has an ab crunch. She features ball joints at the hips, knee joints, single knee joint and an ankle joint, meaning her feet can go back and forward or as much as her odd looking flares allow. Unfortunately no ankle pivot, but like I said, a whole bunch of articulation there. You could go crazy with the idea of how many positions you could get Velvet Sky into. So the two figures do pretty much feature the same body sculpt. Of course, Velvet Sky has kind of unique lower legs to Angelina. And I think these both use the earlier Daphne action figure, which was the first TNA action figure released in a 2-pack with Dr. Stevie Richards. And I think you can see the line here, a raised relief sculpt on Daphne. Her top was a one-piece, and they've kept the same body mould as Daphne, except here they've kind of painted over the sculpted line to try and make Angelina's top look more like a kind of sports bra, kind of boob tube. But that said, I mean, it's not that noticeable really. Just bringing the camera closer so we can check out the facial likeness there. I would say that of the two, Velvet is probably the better likeness. That's not to say that Angelina has a terrible likeness. I would say her face just doesn't have the life that Velvet's has. It kind of looks, if you remember, if you're a fan of TNA programming, if you remember when Angelina was entranced by Winter, either chemically induced or otherwise. Angelina has that look about her here in this figure. It's a kind of blank, cold, staring expression. Both have nice details on the figure. You'll see here Angelina. You can see her tattoos there. One on her back. I would say she could have a tattoo for every man she's ever slept with, but then she'd need to be the size of Awesome Kong. Equally, Velvet has some nice detail. Sky on her buttocks. I don't get these flares that women wrestlers wear. What are they thinking when they put stuff like that on? I kind of understand, you know, the low-cut tops and the kind of garter straps. You know, we kind of all know that ladies wrestling really is softcore porn. But the flares, I don't know, is that some kind of man's fantasy that I'm blissfully unaware of? Who knows? Maybe Austin Powers? And so I'll leave you with some ACBA, articulated comic book art, TNA knockout style, with Velvet about to rip the polyester weave straight out of Angelina's head. Why is it that women always fight dirtier than men, huh? And of course Velvet should know There's one thing you don't do. You do not mess with another woman's weave. As a result, Velvet here is about to eat wrestling mat. Body slam! But in this battle of action figures, if I had to pick a favourite, I'd pick Velvet. To the victor goes the spoils. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please comment, rate and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.